Hey, welcome, welcome. Hey, welcome, welcome to the chat. How you doing? Thank you for coming by. I'm just finishing up some stuff. I'm starting a little early today because I'm supposed to start at 5:30, but I'm starting a few minutes early. So just bear with me. Just happy that you're here. One sec. Hey, welcome. Thank you for coming on over. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Starting a few minutes early today to help out a sister. So we were supposed to start at 5:30, but we decided to start a little early today so that when we leave here, we raid this wonderful person. All right. Yeah. Yeah. So welcome. How you doing? Hi, Joy. Welcome. Thanks for coming into the chat. How are you? I started a little early today, Joy. I started a little early because we when we leave here, we're going to head over to Carter Club because she just started doing her lives this week, so we're trying to help her out. So I just switched up my time a little bit because yesterday I think I went over into her time, and I don't want to do that. So thank you for coming into the chat early. All right, it is much appreciated. You are hot. Where are you? I think we're all. It's been really warm lately. I keep people from all over the world who I talk to are telling me that it's warm wherever they are, which is kind of strange. It could be. I mean, if you're on this side of the world, it could be because. Oh, where in GA are you? Where? Because you know what? You know that we are. There's a hurricane close to us. It's not heading towards us, but there's a hurricane close to us, and whenever that happens, it gets really, really hot. And since if you're in JA, you know that it's been hot generally. It's just hot. You know that, right? Yeah. So I was explaining that I started a little early today. We normally start at 5:30. That's our set schedule time. But what we are doing is we're assisting a good friend of ours who is starting her live stream in an hour. So we want to ensure that she gets her entire hour. So we're trying to support her. So I'm really happy that you decided to come over a little early. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's hot right here. It's hot. No, yeah, man, it's hot there. What's up, Vermont Paint and Photos? How you doing, bro? Welcome. I appreciate love the Hilly Billy Raid Carter Club. Anything for you, baby girl. You know that. Carolina Hilly Billy, 1961. You are my brother for life. I know you are my bro. Aisha. Hey, Aisha. Thanks for coming over. All right. Thank you. Yeah, Joy. Spain Town normally very warm. Derek C. Williams, my brother. No, you're not late. You're actually early. We normally start at 5:30, but we decided to start late because we want to ensure that I went over into Carter Club's live yesterday, and I don't want to do that. So we want to try to get in an hour and ensure that she gets in an hour because she's doing so well. Carter Club, you're doing so well in those lives. I'm enjoying it. So um, so Derek, big up yourself. Thanks guys for coming on in. Aisha, that was a great live earlier today. I really enjoyed. Your lives are they're educational and I just enjoy them generally. You know what I'm saying? Hi Kimon, Read Unstoppable, what a guan. How you doing? Thank you for coming over to the live. All right. Carter Club, are we gonna see your face today in the live? Are we gonna see your face in the live today? Are we? Let me know. Yeah, she is. She is really great. Welcome to everyone who's coming over from Carolina, Hilly Billy, 1961, which I assume is when the brother came here to this planet, to our Earth, when he was born, right? Yeah, your lives are amazing. There is no question about that. I don't think there's anyone who can watch your lives and not say that you don't learn something or enjoy it. Kubo Ni Juan. I think I'm getting that correct now. Madonna Friedman, welcome to. Thank you very much for coming into the live. Welcome. Yeah. Happy that you are all here. The topic today is we're supposed to be discussing dating. And y'all know I'm an expert on dating. Everybody here knows that I'm really good at that. So, Peaceful Sistrin, hey, what's up? What a guan. Peaceful Sistrin, what a guan. Thank you for coming over. Kerry Knopf, welcome. Thank you for coming on over. Amazing Maisie. Hey, amazing Maisie. Welcome to the chat. Love to have you here. I'm so happy you're all here. Yeah. Yes, that's what I'm an expert in dating in my mind. Meaning I've had many dates, like I think most of us have had. I think any of us who have had 2 or 3 or 4 dates become a pretty straightforward expert. So I'm not literally an expert. Do not disclaimer, I am not literally a dating expert. I cannot set up people. I cannot tell them what to do. I can only speak from my experience of what dating is. I mean, so I just wanted us all to have a conversation about dating, seeing as how the world that we knew is very, very different. And the truth is, some of us may be in our late 20s, because none of us in the chat are over 30. So some of us may be in our late 20s, some may be in our late teens, and as a result of that, we have had some amount of experience with dating. So I just wanted to talk about a topic that we can all relate to at some level or another. Oh, Carolina Hillbilly 1961 says, "Oh my, a yellow thing and dating, Lord." Well, the process here. Well, in Jamaica, I'm going to tell you all something. In Jamaica, I don't know about now, but back in the day, we didn't date the way when I went to the States and I went to Europe and the UK. I realized Jamaicans didn't date then the way you all dated. I mean, I think dating for you was like you met someone, you would go somewhere, right? You go to dinner or a movie, or you'd have a drink or something very formal like that, and you'd sit down with each other and you'd kind of talk to each other and see if there's any chemistry and stuff. When I know I eventually did stuff like that, but it wasn't the same kind of process, because I lived briefly in Bayonne, New Jersey. And I realized there that the process was really different. Hi, Nadira. Welcome to the chat. Welcome. Thank you for coming in, Franny. Watagwan. Big up yourself. Yeah. So when I moved, when I was living in Bayonne, New Jersey, and I started to meet girls on the train or the bus coming on over, because I just got there. I didn't have a vehicle or anything, and I was mostly in New York anyway, so there was no reason for a vehicle. And I realized that the process of dating there was like a completely different process. And here's the thing, in Jamaica, it's smaller. So there's a high possibility that the person you're about to ask on a date, you probably know them indirectly or you know them through someone else. You guys are super brave because you're meeting absolute strangers and going out on these dates. And then when I was in New Jersey, it was the first time I heard of the concept of a blind date. And I didn't understand what that actually meant. Don't laugh at me. I did. You should, Carolina Hillbilly says, you should try dating as a hillbilly. Women always misunderstand. Bruh, I think women always misunderstand generally, no matter where you are from. I really think so. When I did my first blind date, because this was something I could not relate to, because someone was, okay, I had a friend who was Hispanic. He lived right in front of my apartment. We become good friends, and he said he knew a girl who he thought we would click, it would be great chemistry. And I said, okay, so what do we do? And he said, okay, you're going to meet at this place. She's agreed to meet you at this place. It wasn't in Manhattan. Was it? I think it was 42nd Street, I think. Anyway, I don't remember where we went. I know it's somewhere in New York. So what he had arranged for us to meet at this place, it was a pizzeria. I remember that. And the pizzas are huge. They're like world famous pizzas. I don't know if anybody here can help me with that. But they're huge. The pizzas are like this size. They're massive pizzas. So he arranged for me and this girl to meet. So I didn't want to be late, so I got there early. It was supposed to be like 6 p.m., 8 p.m. in the night. And it was in Manhattan. Yeah, that's in Manhattan. Yeah, you're right, Derek. Yeah. So we met at this, we were supposed to meet at this pizzeria, and she was going to wear, she told me a color. Listen, I'm an atypical male, meaning I just know brown, black, yellow, green, but it was one aqua. That was the color. I mean, I remember I had to ask someone what aqua looked like, and then I found it was kind of like green and blue, sort of mixed kind of thing, right? But the pizzas were huge. That's what I remember. So I got there early and I sat down, and I didn't have these yet. And I was waiting on her, and she came in. This girl came in aqua, and she was beautiful. The thing is, she was about 6'5", and I'm not 6'5". All right. So that was interesting. And she sat down and we started to speak. And then I realized something really, really important. She didn't speak English. She didn't speak English. And I just knew Buenos dias, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien, gracias. That's all I knew. That people. That was a very different kind of experience. We struggled to get through that date because it was she didn't understand a word I was saying, and I did not understand anything she was saying. We struggled, but you know what was strange? We ended up laughing a lot because the few English words she knew, and because I would basically say muy bien, gracias to pretty much everything she said, and I guess eventually we kind of found it really funny. And let me tell her name was April. Obviously, I can't tell her surname, but anyway, but it was strange because we actually enjoyed that date for some bizarre. Hi, Angela M. Welcome to the chat. Welcome. We are discussing dates, and navigating the world of dates. So somehow we got through this very strange date. And we actually, and I remember we left and we walked. Let me tell you where. This was when 42nd Street isn't the 42nd Street it is now. It's now the Disney 42nd Street. This was the old 42nd Street where they had all the porn and all the, it was a different 42nd Street. So we walked along that 42nd Street after the date and we struggled. And we went on we started to hang out together, and I started to learn a few words and she learned a few words. And it was somehow, it worked. It was okay. My friend was right. because she laughed a lot. And what happened is she got a job and she had to move to the West Coast to San Francisco, if my memory serves me correctly. So we hung out for like three weeks until she finally left, and went off. But for me, this was such a different experience because I don't know if Jamaicans do blind dates. Because the truth is, anyone you meet here in Jamaica, if you really want to know who the person is, it's really not that hard to find out who they are. It's going to be kind of easy to figure out who the person is. Yes, Aisha, laughter is actually universal. And she's not the only person I dated who didn't speak English, and I didn't really speak their language either. I mean, but that was interesting because, like I said, the concept of dating in Jamaica, it's okay, Joy. Welcome back. Thank you for coming back in. The concept of dating in Jamaica is a little different, or well, it certainly was at that time, because I don't know of people doing blind dates, and I don't know of I mean, this thing of dating in a formal way in Jamaica is really kind of new. I mean, it kind of comes from what we see in Western television. To be very honest with you, it's not the norm. It's not something that we normally do. Like we would go out, but not in that structured, normal way that Western that people in the US or Canada or these places, because it's really, and also I think to some extent the idea of dating, like we were discussing yesterday. I mean, dating kind of end up meaning that. I'm trying to find the best way to put it. I mean, dating sometimes means that you have to have a little money, because I'm old school. And I'm old school in the sense that I kind of believe that the man, initially takes care of stuff until you get to a point where you can both kind of, or you have a conversation as to where you're going, and if you can both, and I guess that's a way of putting your best foot forward. Although Derek C. Williams had said yesterday that was a good way of lining up yourself for being abused, So that for me was my first really different kind of dating experience. Dating for me here in Jamaica was a little different. So dating was, we used to have a lot of house parties in Jamaica. You didn't pay to go to these, they were free parties. So you would go to a house party, and what would happen is you would know that Simone is going to the house party, and Simone would know that you are going to the house party. So you guys would sort of just meet at the house party. And like I said, normally you'd probably know Simone through her sister, her cousin, her niece, her friends, her school friends, your school friends, something like that. So it's a little different. So for me, the blind dating thing really threw me off as a Jamaican. I'm not kidding. Aisha says, do you believe in casual dating for our younger generation, or do you believe in dating with the purpose of marriage, courting? I kind of think, personally, I think people have to date casually first, because it took me a while to figure out what I wanted and what I liked, really. And I think it takes most young people a while before they get to that place where they understand themselves. And let's face it, most of us, we have to hit our late 20s into our 30s before we have a true understanding of ourselves and the things that we like and we don't like. So I kind of think that it's probably unrealistic that we ask people to meet that first or second or third person, and it's going to be like, I'm going to marry this person, we're going to get married. Because I think what I liked at 15 and 20 and 21 and 25, it changed. I mean, attractiveness, yes, but even what I considered attractive changed. I mean, I've dated supermodels, beauty queens. I've dated women who were a little heavy. I've dated women of African descent, women of Caucasian. I've dated women who were Asian. I have dated all kinds of people. It took me a while to realize that I was more attracted to the person's persona. You know what I'm saying? And for me, the big turn on was she found me funny. So that was a big thing for me. And then as I went through dated different types of women, I started to realize, okay, that doesn't work for me. That didn't work for me. So I kind of think the process of dating is kind of really important, but I also think that we have to be realistic. Because like I said, for me, living in the US was when I had these blind dates. I couldn't understand at first. Queen Aisha says, I agree. The question is how do we get the younger generation to realize their likes and dislikes will evolve and they need to learn themselves before marriage? I don't think we can do that, Aisha. I mean, we have to be honest. We all. The thing is, I think normally once we hit, I don't know about most of you. I moved out when I was 17 years old. I moved into my own place at 17 years old. Because I wanted to have sex, and my parents were not going to allow me to do that in their house. I'm going to be honest with you. My parents, they were pretty cool, but they weren't that cool. All right. So I determined that I was going to move out into my own place at 17. And my apartment was like, I had a mattress on the floor. An ex-girlfriend's mom had given me a refrigerator, and I got someone donated I had AC. It came with the apartment, and I had no furniture, and I had a television that was connected to the cable. That was it. All right. So I wasn't processing things properly. I was just thinking of, getting my daddy on. And I kind of think that, I mean, when I speak to my nephews and my nieces, I kind of realize it's the same thing. Come on, people, admit it. We all believe when we get to a certain stage that we know everything. First of all, we can't wait to leave our parents because we want to prove that we are adults. All right. And, hey, we're adults. We know what's going on. Hello, Kimon, Reed, Unstoppable. What were you eating? Why didn't you offer us any? Expedition Greg, big up yourself. Welcome, bro. Welcome. Yeah, so I'm not sure, Aisha, if we can try in the sense that we have to communicate with them and say, hey, don't rush into this, take your time. I mean, I tell my girls, I've said to them, listen, there is going to be some pressure to have sex. And it's going to be a biological clock, one, and being an adolescent. And it's going to be your friends telling you how amazing. Hi, Arlene Verdida. Welcome. Thank you for coming on into the chat. Your friends are going to try and pressure you. I mean, and you're going to have desires, let's face it, male or female, in our adolescent years, we get pretty horny. And, oh, you're doing dishes, Tony Damien? Hush, boo-boo. Hush. Yeah, so I think to try and explain this to teenagers, we just have to be honest. And I mean, like I said, we need to just tell them our own honest experiences. Because I found that as an adolescent, and in my early 20s, a lot of my concepts and ideas about dating weren't realistic. I mean, I thought they were realistic, but they weren't realistic. I thought, I've told all of you that I thought I was a Matt Daddy, and I was not the Matt Daddy. I thought that, that once there was sexual chemistry, it meant this was the right person. That is nonsense. That's not true at all. You can have great sexual chemistry with someone and despise each other. I literally was with someone for years who I despised. I didn't like her persona. I don't think she liked mine, but the sex was so good. I could not leave that situation. I had to man up and grow some cojones and step away. So, and the thing is, when you are younger, you are fumbling around. So I kind of think the process of dating is correct. It's a good idea. But I think also that we have a feeling that we have to run into adulthood. I think that's it. Being children and then being preteens. Aisha says you're a great father if you are having this conversation with your daughters. Most men will not. I have 4 kids and I think my dad still believes them. You know what? I was insistent that I had these conversations. I have 2 beautiful girls. And I wanted them to be aware. I mean, I tell my girls, anything you want to know about a man, you call daddy first. Because, hey, I'm a man. And I will probably have a better perspective of what's going on. And when my youngest hasn't started dating, and I mean, she'll start when she's about 45. I'm serious. 45. Anyway, and my oldest daughter is now 29. Yeah, yeah, 29. And she's been dating the same person for a minute. And I had that conversation with him. You know, the conversation where you threaten, but you do it in a really nice way. I had that conversation. Yeah, I did. Anyway, very nice, by the way, young man. I mean, I don't think there was any need for me to do that. But Aisha, I think we have to be very honest with our children, and we have to be able to talk to, because this is part of the problem. Your children have you there at home, and they're going to go out, and most of my male friends, we found out about sex from porn, which is the worst thing to find out about sex from. There's nothing more unrealistic, and it would be like bringing up your child literally in Disneyland. It's just not real. So at some point, you have to no. Yeah, I remember his name now, Tony Davian. I do. I remember his name. I remember his name. He's a nice young man, but it took me a while to get past that. Listen, even when both my girls were like 5 and 6 and 7, and I remember, you know, like you'd go to the school to pick them up and they would be holding a little boy's hand. There was a rage that came from deep inside. I'm sorry. I think this happens to every father. But I want to be the dad that my girls, and if I had boys, could tell me because my thing is, if they can't trust me, and if I know that information I'm going to give them is going to be honest, it's going to be realistic information. What am I going to do? I mean, I don't want them going to strangers on the road. I don't want them to find out about sex from porn, which is impractical and unrealistic. You know, I don't want my girls to believe that, you know, I mean, I've had to tell my girls all men are not daddy. They're not, you know, all men are not like me. Some men are like me. Some are the complete opposite of me. I've told my daughters things like, okay, when you go out with a young man, you know, daddy, how do I know? Okay, don't watch how he treats you. Watch how he treats every other woman around you. Watch how he treats his mom, his cousins, his sisters. If he only opens the door while he's on a date with you, he's an a-hole. Run. If he only pulls out the chair when he's trying to impress you, run. You know, first he has to be himself. So I've tried to tell my daughters. It's not funny, my dear ex. I've told them the truth, and I've had some uncomfortable conversations. I'm going to be honest with you. It made me uncomfortable, but I had to tell them, because you see, that's the thing. If we leave our children to the wolves, right, our boys and our girls, both of them, if we leave them to the wolves, they're going to, first of all, remember that the first relationship your children observe, adult relationship, is you with your partner or your partners. You know what I'm saying? That's the first one. That informs them as to what relationships are. Then the first man your daughter falls in love with is her dad. So her dad has to set a precedent. I mean, that's how I see it. I mean, maybe I'm a little cray-cray, being the dating expert here. I'm throwing my word at you, bro. But I'm just saying that one of the things that I realize that we parents don't do, because we're so uncomfortable about this process, is that we are not honest about our experiences and about what people really are like with our children, and we don't tell them. We may warn them about the other person's behavior, but we have to also tell them about their own. We have to say, I've said to my girls, although I didn't need to, listen, you go out, if you don't have any money, daddy's going to give you some money. You have to have your own money. Offer to pay at least half, be independent, have money. So if you didn't drive, you can jump in a cab and leave. Follow your gut. If your gut says something is not right in this situation, run. Don't look behind you. Don't walk. Run. We just have to be honest. And I tell my nephews the same thing. I said, listen, she may be beautiful, she may be sexy, she may be appealing, but she may also be an a-hole. She may not be the nicest person. And you tell them, and because this is the thing is with men, right? Men, We when we're younger in particular, we tend to judge women based on just how you look. Like this, we literally just see what we're looking at, how you look, how you know what you are. And I mean, this happened to most of the men I know. Aisha says, oh yeah, yes, Nadira X. I've heard that term. My mom used that term, Bex money. Vegan realist, what's up? Thank you for coming into the chat. Thank you so very much. Welcome, 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 welcome. We are discussing in our own way the navigating dating, you know, and we're actually at the point where we're talking about dating regarding our children and you know how we help them to navigate the insanity that we had to navigate when we were a little younger. So even for me, I have really tried to set them straight and just be honest. And I've tried to say to my girls, listen, because here's the thing. What I've learned as I've gotten older is that you can date a person for a very, very long time and you still never, ever, ever know that person. You can be around a person on 10, 20, 40, 50 dates and you still don't ever really get to know that person. And that's just the truth. And I think Aisha alluded to this because people tend to date. We tend to date for different reasons. I don't know many of my male friends who started to date because they were looking for wives. I'm going to be honest with you, Aisha. I don't know if women do that. Maybe they do. But most men that I know, we started to date because we had an itch that we were trying to scratch, one, or we just, saw a very attractive woman and we were just trying to get to know that very attractive woman. I mean, in most men, I know that there are exceptions to all rules. I don't know about women. I'm told these horror stories about women that I do not always believe. That the woman, you have to have money. I think, of course, there are going to be people like that, but I think the majority of the women on planet Earth are really not like that. I don't get that vibe, and because I have no idea of what being a woman is like. I dare not to, coming from that perspective. But I can say clearly what I tried to do with my girls was to be honest and say, hey, listen, every guy is not going to be nice. And dating is a good way to feel out the person. Because I think what dating gives you an opportunity to do, right, is this. It gives you an opportunity to follow your gut. That feeling that says, no, something don't feel right about this person. Or, no. And also dating starts to inform you about you and what kind of person you are. All right. It starts to tell you, because some of us have unrealistic expectations. You know what I'm saying? Like, we want to date Miss World, but we ain't Mr. Universe. I've never gotten that one. Or, we want people who are loaded, but we are not. I mean, I kind of think you have to open up your mind to date different types of persons. You get what I'm saying? And having had all these dating experiences, some of which were really different and interesting, I started to realize that at one point I could not trust my own judgment where dating was concerned, because up until I was maybe 28, 29, I found I was over. If I found a woman physically appealing, this just shut down. It was just on cruise control. I just wasn't thinking clearly anymore. You know what I'm saying? So which is why I ended up in some of the situations that I ended up in, where I was with people that I probably really shouldn't have been with. Like I said yesterday, I was dating one girl, and every time we went out, I took out she and four of her friends, and sometimes a fifth. And I was like in the bank. I was like an ATM, literally. But she was so attractive, I couldn't let go until my brain kicked in one day and say, hey man, this ain't working out. So I think the dating thing is great, but I think what we have to do is we have to ask ourselves, okay, what's the purpose of this? What am I doing? What am I dating? Am I dating for something casual? Am I dating for something, or am I dating to find out who I am? Because the thing about dating too is we tend to date looking at the other person. We're not thinking about us and how the other person is perceiving us in that situation, because we ain't perfect. We still have, like I said, we have unrealistic goals and dreams. So when I sit with my girls and I try to talk to them about this process of meeting somebody different and someone new, Tony Damon said, I gave my daughter two rules: graduate before marriage, yeah, married before baby, cool. She graduated 6 months later, got married, and 6 months later got preggo. Not what I meant. But she followed your rules. She did. Aisha says, I have a whole attitude with whoever that lady was. She was trying to play you for. She probably was. You know what? I think that's just her nature. Because it's someone I still see and we still get along. That's just who she was. She was brought up. She was, brought up to think that she should be serviced by not just the men around her, but by everyone around her. She was just one of those persons. And I mean, like, I agree with you. I was being punked. I was, but I'm not gonna lie that. But like I said, I mean, I don't just blame her, blame myself, because it was obvious, but it the chemistry between us was so good. I was willing to tolerate anything. I didn't care what was happening. I was good, you know. I Carter Club said serviced. That's what she says. She should have been more specific. Okay. Yes, that's actually true, Tony. You should have been a little bit more specific when you gave those rules. Um, I listen, people. I don't just blame her. I blame me, because I mean, I was old enough. I must have known what was happening, but I just could not stop. I couldn't let go, and that's the thing that women don't understand. That when women are hooked, I don't know if this happens for women, but when we are hooked, we're hooked. I dated that young lady I told you about. She was from. It wasn't Puerto Rico. It was another Hispanic. It wasn't Puerto. Dominican Republic. That's where she was from. She was from the Dominican Republic. That's where she was from. And we got along so well, but we spent a lot of time being physical because we really couldn't communicate or talk, right? Um, there was this other person, can I call her name, that I mentioned that we did not like each other, people. I Anyone can explain this? We did not like each other. I mean, I'm talking about we couldn't tolerate each other. And we had the greatest chemistry. I mean, the first time something happened, I was shocked because I was like, what? That's when I realized that I can't trust myself as a man. I was like, what? How could you? This is someone I despised. But she looked so good. Good. She was fine. I could not. We did this for years and we would argue, we would scream at each other, but we just could not. I mean, you know what ended? She left the island. She physically left here and went to Italy. Physically got up and left. How do you explain this? I mean, it made no sense. Aisha says, if you were to be totally honest with yourself, would you say low self-esteem in your youth caused you to be more tolerant of the mean and greedy behavior? Yeah, yeah, I admit it. I told you guys I was greater face. I am not going to say no. I couldn't believe that when I started to attract certain types of girl before and after the mix. But what's up, man? I didn't expect women, certain types of women, to even be attracted to me. I mean, as I dated more and more of them, I got a little bit, I got more confident. But yeah, that's a fact. I think a lot of us tolerate those situations because we can't believe we're dating the person that we're dating. You know, it's the truth. And I also think some of it was just I was just lusting. It was just physical. I wasn't really concerned about anything else. And I just thought I was getting what I want, no matter what the cost was. As I got more mature and older, and this is the thing I'm trying to teach my girls and my nephews, etc., and my nieces. That you have to value yourself at some point. I mean, at some point, you are supposed to, after that, evolve to the place where you are valuing you. So I'm not going to lie to you all. I mean, I was greater face, people. Come on. Do you know what greater face means? I was greater face. I was the guy who had to make everybody laugh. I mean, I'm not going to take that from you. So So I knew that. I mean, there were several women I dated, and I was like, what am I doing within this situation? But the flesh, people, the flesh, the flesh combined with low self-esteem. Yep, I'm not going to say no, right? But the women I was dating got better, and I started to realize that okay, there are beautiful women out there who are also nice people. In fact, most of the beautiful women I met were very, very nice people. They were very sweet human beings. And that took a while for me to get to that place. And no one wants to concede these things, and no one even wants to see it, because this is not something that you're supposed to talk about. You're not supposed to admit that you are at a place in your life where your sense of self is low, because we don't address these things. I mean, I'm normally like, as y'all know, I mean, you're beginning to find out I'm that person, but it doesn't mean that I don't think and I don't have deep thoughts. As I got older, I realized the decisions I was making were because I was misinformed, and it was not from my parents. My father was super cool, my mom was cool, they taught me everything, but I realized that self-esteem comes from deep inside. And I think that's one of the reasons why dating is kind of important, because the process of dating, because listen, there's a whole other group of people who do not date. You know that, right? There's a whole, I have a friend who's from Mumbai, and how he met his wife, he lives in Jamaica now. Um, he was here with working with his uncle, living with his uncle. His father contacted his uncle and said, it's time for so and so to get married. Follow what I'm saying to you. It's time for so and so to get married. Then they spoke with him and said, okay, next year, November, you're going to be married. We're going to find the wife and we send you a picture. About 7 months after that conversation, he got a picture of this young lady. And he saw her picture and he put it up in his room. And then within 12 months of that, she had been flown to Jamaica and they got married. They've been married for 20 odd years and they're happy. There was no dating. They didn't even have the first conversation they had, he told me, was at the ceremony, the wedding. He never spoke to her before that. Whatever he knew about her, he was told, like, okay, she's this, she's that. So, I mean, maybe our situation is unique, but what is important here, what I'm trying to say is, they were happy. They are happy. That blew me away. I was like, huh? Because remember, we get to choose our partners. They don't get to do that. And when he explained to me, this is the custom. He said to me, his father never met his mother until the night of the honeymoon. His grandfather met the mom, but had to go to the mom's father and negotiate. This is like a completely different world. Nothing like what we know here. Jamaicans have a saying, I don't know if I can paraphrase this, but any Jamaican in the chat will know what I'm saying. We say in Jamaica, you pick and pick until you pick poo. We don't say poo, we use the S word, but you pick and pick till you pick poo. What it means is because we can date, we tend to choose and choose and choose. We win the shop. We win the shop and we win the shop. And sometimes the right person comes in our life and leaves because we're still window shopping. We're still wanting something else. That whole culture, there is no window shopping. If anybody window shops, it's your parents. Your parents go out and say, Peter is ready to get married. Simone lives down the road. Hey, it's time now. It's time now. By the way, everyone, in 15 minutes, we are raiding Carter Club. Okay, remember, Carter Club in exactly 15 minutes. That will be 12 minutes past 6 my time, which is 12 minutes past 7. So remember, everyone, we're going over to Carter Club in 15 minutes. All right, this is our first week of lives. This is my second week. So, I'm no longer virgin, like a virgin. Hey, touch foot. Come on, y'all know that song, man. We all love that song. All of you groove to that song. Anyway, I'm trying to have a serious one today. I'm saying that in their culture, nobody gets to choose. That is scary as heck. And worse, if you meet someone that you like and you don't have if you're not from the right family or you don't have the right amount of funds, you can't marry her. It has nothing. So you do not. I mean, what would you do? Imagine if the world you live in was that kind of world, right? Because here's the thing that blows my mind. Most of the couples that I've met like that, and I know about maybe 15 because I know through him I've met a lot of other persons from that culture. They're all still married. There is no divorce happening there. And we get to choose through processes of dating, right? And still, as we date, you know what happens to us? Let me tell you what happens to us. We break up, we get divorced. So I kind of wonder sometimes deep inside, because their system seems to work. But that's looking from the outside in. I'm sure that they have tons of problems that they're not going to tell poor me and they're not going to discuss any of us here, right? But I mean, what do you think? Do you think you would be able to survive in a situation where you were told who to date? You didn't have an option or a choice, right? We'll soon be there, Carter Club. We'll see you in a few minutes. We'll see you in exactly 9 to 10 minutes. We'll be there. Don't worry. All right. I'm just trying to get the hour. I was instructed by SF Rose to make sure that I do that. So just visualize, my friends, what would happen if you were told that if Aisha, you came home and your mom said, you know, Aisha, you're getting married in 3 weeks, and you say, Mommy, who am I getting married to? And your mom said, you're getting married to Dre CEO, and that's it. And you're like, what? And that's it. Nothing. And Dre CEO says, like a virgin, taking a lady and 5 of her friends out. Yeah, bro. Yeah. That is true. I ain't gonna say no. I ain't gonna say. Dre CEO. Sorry, it better be Dre CEO. I agree, man. Aisha says, I got you on time and link. Just focus on your Aisha, seriously, what would you do if you lived in that culture where they said you couldn't choose your husband, the husband you're with right now? Your parents came to you and your parents said, this is who you're going to get married to, and that's it. And there's no divorce here. You can't leave this person. You can't go. You know, you have to make it work. I mean, that's a whole different kind. For me, that's a whole different place of scary. Just remember, people, we are leaving here in about, I would say about 11 minutes. We're going over to support our Sister Carter Club. I really appreciate all of you guys being here today. You know what happened to me today? I just knocked out. I fell asleep. So I woke up just a few minutes before this live. And I don't normally sleep in the days, but it's been kind of really, really hot here in Jamaica. I don't know what it's like up there, but it's been really, really hot. And just the heat, it just knocked me out. And I'm saying, so what was that? I'm missing that. Aisha. Aisha says, Dre CEO, it's you, of course. Oh, that is so sweet. Yeah. Aisha says, I've seen it happen before. If I were raised in a culture, I would do it. But that's what I'm saying. I mean, maybe dating is a privilege that we take for granted, and that we abuse to a certain extent. Because I have friends who are way older than me. These guys are in their 40s and their 50s and 60s, and these guys are still dating. And the girls they're dating gets younger and younger. And I have no problem with that. I mean, but I've said to them, man, I mean, at what point, and one of them, he has a way of saying, he says too much flowers in the, no, too many flowers in the field, bro. That's what he always says. Too many flowers in the field, lion. I have to keep picking flowers. So, it's, oh, amazing, Maisie. Thank you. You are still here. Remember, we're going to go over to, in 10 minutes, we're going to raid Carter Club in 10 minutes. All right. So we can drop the link. I was instructed to make sure I get an hour. So I'm just trying to get an hour. And it's really kind of you guys to be here. This has been a terrible live. But this was something that I was thinking about last night. this whole thing. This was not what I planned to do in terms of how I wanted to do this, but I've just really been thinking about how this dating thing impacts all of us and how it impacts who we end up with. That's, if you're from a community that dates, and how it informs us. Because the thing is, dating serves many, many, many different persons may be great in terms of the information it gives you, but it can also lead to hurt, pain, disillusionment, and it can mean that you walk into your other relationships with all that pain and with all that hurt, just like I did for the first 7 months after I broke up with that young lady, who I would have to take out her and her entire friends. That made me really suspicious of any woman I met after that point for a while, because I was like, is every woman like this? So some of us, sometimes we walk into situations with these terrible, terrible experiences, and maybe that is coming from dating. Dre CEO says, no, Vermont Paint and Photo says 76 Fahrenheit and cool breeze off the lake. Oh, you are lucky, bro. You are lucky. Dre CEO says, but if that's what you've grown up with, then you don't really know the difference, right? We do it with religion and other things. You're right. I mean, if that's simply a part of the process. Yes, Aisha. Yeah, you said I have 9 more minutes. Hopefully, y'all will hang around with me for another 8 minutes until we get over to support her. I normally do the lives at 5:30, but it's her first series of lives, and just like all of us, she's trying to get her hours and get up to that point. I'm hoping that we get to see her face this time when we go over. Yeah, so I just think, for me, because here's the funny thing, the person I'm with, we didn't really date initially. I met her, I liked her immediately. She was seeing someone and she had no interest in me at all. And I just, pined for her for over a year. I did not do that. She didn't know I did until many, many years after. And but by that point in my existence, I knew exactly what I wanted in a person. And a lot of that came from dating these different persons. And I mean, I have no ill will to any of the women I dated. I think they were all really nice women. First of all, especially the girls early on in my life who dated me as Greater Face. Those were brave, wonderful people. I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to start laughing. I'm trying to do a relatively serious life. But I was really, really good with that. I was very, very happy with this fact, that these women, they dated me, and I got an opportunity to learn a lot of stuff from these women. And you know what was really amazing? I learned a lot of stuff about myself. So I learned, the Dre CEO, I learned, I was a bit of a sucker. Yeah, I was a dope. I was, but I don't know if you all are into boxing, that famous fight, the Thriller in Manila, when Ali was roping George Foreman like a dope. I kind of felt like that. But I think I also probably hurt some people and did some stuff to some people that I was not sure I wanted to do. Vermont Paint and Photo says, nope, Carter Club still has a little circle talk. She does? Nah, we got to change that. But I mean, she's doing such a great job, though. Yeah, so I just think it depends on where you're from, because like I said, dating in Jamaica is not like what you guys do in the US or in Canada or Australia. It's a completely different process. I'm promising you this. But I think at the end of the day, we all have to try and figure out ourselves. And I said there are people who Dre CEO says, as the song goes, everybody plays a fool sometimes. That's right, bro. That's true, my brother, because I'm sure even you, the Matt Daddy, have had your moments. We've all had our moments. And I think the worst thing is when you are dating at different frequencies. You are dating, you meet someone, it's casual, you start getting very serious about the person, but the person is still casual about you. That can be a real issue. I mean, you are trying to get to somewhere and she's just not hearing it, or or vice versa. Which is why I guess communicating is really important. You have to talk, kind of thing. Tomorrow, everyone, I'm going to go live again at the same time at 1:15, because like I said, this week we're trying to ensure that Carter Club is up and running and she's good to go. And oh, I guess I have about 4 more minutes. Thanks for being with me in the live. I know this was not the live I planned. Like I said, I just woke up, which is a little insane and unlike me. So, and I'm a bit scatterbrained. I don't know if you know that terminology. Aisha says, no exception to the rule. It may be factual, it may be cool. That's very, very true. Yes, Tony Damien, you know what I'm talking about, the dreaded friend zone. You're one place. Well, you don't know that. You don't know that at all. You don't know, Tony. I know you don't know. I saw you in that live today. Tony Damien, you don't know that. You have never been friend zoned in your life. Just like Aisha, never been friend zoned. All right? Y'all are winners. So, I mean, I went through my little losing streak, but I'm back now. I'm good. I'm good to go. Yeah. But it's crazy when you're dating and you're going in different directions. But I think it's healthy though that what? No, never heard of it. Vermont patent poses, bro. um, yeah. So tomorrow I'm going to go on at a 5:15, and I'm going to be a little bit more focused. I think this is not really what I want to discuss, but I decided to, because if I started, I would have gone on for 2 hours. I know you guys. I would have literally gone on for 2 hours. And like I said, we really want to focus on assisting Carter Club. We got head over there. I think I have about 2.5 minutes to get to that hour, and then we can head over, please. All right, because we have to go support our sister. Aisha, I really enjoyed your live, but I enjoy all your lives, and it was great seeing Tony Damien there. That was really cool. Vermin Paint, I missed your live again this morning because I overslept, man. But I'm going to go back and show you some love. Dre CEO, do you do lives? Do you? Because I would like to come by and show you some love, bro. Aisha says, believe it or not, Dre CEO had me in the friend zone. What? That is impossible. No way. Dre, bruh. No way, no way, no way. That's not possible. No, 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 no. I cannot believe that. Oh, no, 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 no. That is not possible, bruh. No, no, no. I do not believe my brother would ever do that. No ways. Friend zone. How can anybody friend zone Aisha? No way. Oh yeah, yeah, I will definitely. We'll do a live, and I'll literally do it from outside. You guys will love that. You'll love that. My avocados are in season now, so the avocado tree is loaded with avocado, and they taste heavenly. They're amazing. So I'm definitely going to do a follow up. In fact, a lot of people have asked me to do a follow up vlog on that. All right. That's marriage. We answered at the same time. Oh, I get it. I get it. I understand. I get it. I've kind of been there. Nadira, thank you for being here. Everyone, thank you so much. We have like a minute left. And I gotta say, guys, thank you so much for the support. You guys are the major reason why I'm even doing these lives, because I was terrified. So I understand exactly what Carter Club is going through. Oh, I have 2 more minutes. Okay, cool. Me a bad mind, you says something. No, you can't. You're too sweet a human being. You're incapable of doing that. You cannot possibly do that. Yeah, so Dre CEO, do you do lives? Because if you do a live, I'm going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Vermont Paints, I want to come by tomorrow and watch your live, bro. I mean, your lives they're so soothing. There's no other way. Your tone and the lives itself, just watching you paint is an amazing experience. Oh, you want some? Oh, you're bad mind. My peer them, the avocado. That's okay, bro. You see, if you were here, you wouldn't have that problem. Jay says, hey, it's more to the story, but I only go live with Aisha. Oh, cool. All right, no problem. That's cool, bro. That's cool. That's no problem at all. Well, it seems as if I'm in the 1 hour zone. Tomorrow we're gonna have a great live tomorrow. I promise you guys. I was a little out of focus today, and I'm just concentrating on trying to get over the Carter Club, to be honest with you. Thank you, Aisha. You are so sweet. Guys, thank you so very, very much for the support. It means a lot. All right. I'm learning. I'm still a babe in the woods. So everybody, let's head over to our girl Carter Club. Thank you all for coming. Hopefully I see you guys tomorrow. The live, I promise you, tomorrow is going to be amazing. So we're gonna have fun. All right. And Vermin Paints, we are definitely going to do a live from my garden. You guys are gonna love that. All right. Thanks, guys. Head over to Sister Carter Club now, please. Raid. Blacklight Letters raid. All right. Thanks, guys.